Hello everyone, my name is Amake with Gamey Daddy and I'm here with another video from Tom Clancy's The Division 2. So today what I'm doing is I'm bringing a series of weapons that are going to be appearing in The Division 2. Some of them are going to be coming from The Division 1 and some we're going to be seeing for the first time in the Tom Clancy The Division game. So I'm going to start out and actually list out the categories of weapons that we're going to be looking at, and they are the shotgun, handguns, the submachine gun, the assault rifle, and the automatic class, and as well as the LMG and the Marksman Rifle Classes. Now, I'm not listing any automatic rifles here in the sense of the AR, the assault rifles, because I've listed the ones that I've seen in my previous video about the weapons coming to the Division 2. So if you need to look at that, go ahead and watch it. Now, I will say that this is not an exhaustive list, but this is one of those lists that's gonna kind of get us pumped about the game, because many of us are looking forward to what kinds of weapons we're going to be using, and some people are waiting for the public beta to be available to get their hands on this. And so this is going to set your expectations so that you can actually know exactly what you're going to see. Okay, let's jump right into it. In the shotgun class, we have the SA-12, which is also the showstopper. So this gun is actually in the Division 2 game, and it's a weapon that's actually seems like it's going to drop actually more frequently than it did in the other Division game. Another shotgun that we're getting, and this is new to the Tom Clancy The Division game, is the SPAS-12, which is a very viable shotgun in my opinion. I've run with it in some missions, and I'm actually quite happy in the way that it actually worked out for me. The next class is the handguns. Now this has a lot of weapons so far that we've seen in the private beta, and I'm going to go ahead and list them out for you guys. So we have the M1911, which is a returner from the Division 1, the PX4 Storm Type F, which is also a returner, the First Wave PF45, the military M9, and the Police 686 Magnum, also weapons that are coming from the Division 1 game, and a new one that I've recently discovered, which is the D50. These handguns, in my opinion, have all shown viability during the gameplay, and I think it's actually going to get better as we start to refine our builds and actually use handguns. Handguns seem like they're going to work out in this Division 2 game, and that's actually very exciting because you don't have to go ahead and crush all your handguns just because. You can actually use them to take down enemies when you're in a tight bind. Now, the other class we're going to move to is the SMG, and in this class we actually have the MPX. The MPX, as you guys know, is the weapon that we refer to Division 1 veterans as the house, and so this weapon is returning to the Division 2, and in my opinion I think it's probably a weapon that we're probably going to be able to get without any much issues. Another SMG that I'm really excited for is the MP7. I was able to get my hands on one of them once we got the level 30 characters, and I look forward to actually mounting some and using them through the game. Another submachine gun that really surprised me being in the game was a PP19, and I didn't even get to use it, but I saw it. I was quite excited about using it, but I was able to get my hands on the MP7 first, and so I kind of ignored it, but I don't know how viable it is. I'll still be doing some testing to see, and the public beta, when it shows up, I encourage you to actually take and run with all these weapons. Another SMG in the class that we're going to be highlighting in this video is the Tactical Vector. Now, in my former video, I put up the Vector itself as one of the weapons showing up in the Division 2 game, but the Tactical Vector is a smaller variation of the Vector and doesn't have the big stock like the major Vector itself. So this weapon is also going to be here, and there might be people who find use for a weapon like this. Now, to the rifle class. The rifle class consists of weapons which are actually semi-automatic weapons. They fire one round at a time, and sometimes they might do burst fire. So depending on the variations that we see down the road, we might be stuck with what we have right now, or we may see some more of these kinds of weapons actually drop. Now, two of the rifles in this class are the M16A2, which is a new rifle that's coming to the Division, and another veteran, which is the LVOAC. Now, the LVOAC has been turned into a semi-automatic rifle in this Division 2 game, and I hope this doesn't remain this way, because the LVOAC is a veteran weapon, and there's another weapon as well, the converted USC, that was also changed into a semi-automatic rifle as well. The converted USC used to be a submachine gun in the Division 1, and so I didn't highlight it in this video because I don't really know what category to actually put it in. The gun looks like a submachine gun, but it fires like a rifle, so that really confused me. But if you really want some more information, go ahead and check it out if you pick it up in the beta, or ask questions here in the comment section, and I'm sure some better and more adept people with weapons can answer your questions. But back to the LVOAC, I don't feel like the change was necessary, but that's a design decision the developers have decided to go with, and so I guess we're going to leave it at that. And moving on to the LMGs, we have the infantry MG5 and the MG5. These two variations of the MG5 LMGs are coming to the game, and I'm just going to say straight up, this weapon feels, sounds, and fires in a solid way. It sounds way better than the Division 1's MP5. It's like they're two different weapons when we know that they're the same. LMGs with a lot of rounds and a lot of kick. It has actually some more damage than some of the ARs that I've actually seen. So I think LMGs in this game are actually going to be the go-to weapons. And then moving on to the Marksman class, we have the Covert SRS, which is a mini form of the SRS Marksman Rifle. The Paratrooper SVD is also coming into this game this time, and we also have the Model 700. This is a bolt-action rifle that really hits hard, and I'm really excited to see what these weapons are going to look like. Now again, I will try my best to talk a little bit about the weapon viability in the game so far. Now, having played a few hours of the private beta, I'm just going to say that every single weapon seemed to hit very hard. Even though they were rifles, or even though they were SMGs, or even though they were assault rifles, they seemed to do the job that they were actually designed for. Now, I'm still in the testing phase, so I can't really give you what weapons are more viable than the others, but as we go, I'll be taking notes and I'll be gathering data to kind of see where some of the meta will lie regarding the weapons, because in the PvE game mode, especially the end game, it's going to be very critical for you to go in with your top and best possible weapons and gear. You have to be very ready. The end game is actually very hard, and I think to an extent it's actually a good thing. A lot of people have expressed concerns about this game in the past, and even now, saying that the game has a lot of bullet sponge enemies. But if at this point anyone is saying the game has bullet sponge enemies, then they don't know how to play the Division game, and the Division is probably going to disappoint them unless they actually learn or have some experience from the old game. In fact, what is now the issue, I think a lot of people have expressed, is that the enemies are actually hitting way hard, and some people are actually asking for adjustments. I'm not asking for any adjustments. I feel like we're actually in a good spot, except for the solo players. If you try to play the game solo, I think the NPCs are actually hitting just as hard. Now, if they were hitting a little harder than what they are in a group setting, I can understand, but I think the scaling for solo needs to actually be looked at again. Somebody or some testers need to run these missions in solo and actually look at what that looks like. Now, some people will probably brag in the comment section and say things like, oh, I soloed the mission all by myself. Well, good luck to you. Jeez, like, relax, man. I mean, you know I'm talking to you. A friend of mine, I'm messing with them in this video right here. But anyways, I'm gonna get out of you guys' hair. Enjoy the beta if you're already playing it. If you're looking forward to the private beta, I just want to say it's a solid experience if you're a Division veteran. Yes, we've had some bugs, but to be very honest, Ubisoft does patch. I said Ubisoft. Massive does know how to patch bugs really fast. So all these hater videos that we're seeing everywhere, I'm ready to serve them crow once the game is actually released. Either way, I'm gonna get out of your hair. Please leave comments. Thank you for your time and your audience, and I guess I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.